Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Jeff and Ray as well. I'll be calling you up shortly. Apologies from Jean and Peter. I'd like to move that the apologies.
I'll second those, Jean.
All those in favour? Thank you. So, Rain and Jeff, if you would like to come forward. Okay. Yes, that's a good start. Welcome.
And thank you very much for having us back again. You recall we were here maybe 6 or 7 months ago and we talked about the idea of a bylaw for controlling the use of leg hold traps in the district because of potential for harming kiwi. And the result of that is now more or less complete, and I think it has been or will be presented to the board this morning. So at the risk of giving away a spoiler, the result is that there's not going to be a specific bylaw, but rather through the work of Rachel Pull at the council, there is an existing bylaw that can be leveraged to accomplish pretty much the same thing. And this is the dangerous items in public places bylaw. And it says that if anybody leaves a dangerous item, like a leg hold trap in a public place, that thing is illegal and can be removed. And so that's really good. And what Rachel has done is set up a web page that communicates this and has identified an organization within council that is going to be responsible for not necessarily issuing permits, but for communicating these standards to anybody that wants to put leg hold traps in public places. So there's still a little bit of ambiguity about whether they need to notify or not, and perhaps that's an area that council could advance over time. But the point is, we now have a legal tool that can be used to inform people and to start to get some uniformity across the whole district. And that's one of the great things about the website. And this is the artwork that'll be on the website. It's a gift of Rebecca Pearson, and it shows a kiwi family at play. And the leg hold trap is, of course, up here on the tree in a very safe place. And so it shows that, hey, these things do coexist. And it plays on the two definitions of kiwi, right? Because here's the kiwi family. So we haven't gone out and said the words, about birds and such, but this clearly makes it apparent that we're protecting the birds as well. So I appreciate everything, John, that you did, that the board did to advance this idea. I think this is a good outcome. In the end, so I'm pleased with that, and I just would encourage the board to do whatever it can in the future to protect native biodiversity around the district. So that's it.
Thanks very much for your input. You started it.
Does anyone have any questions for Jeff? No. Okay. We are discussing it today, of course, as you know, and things have been moved. Is it possible that we could have that? I think it's just a lovely thing to have in front of us.
Please.
While we're having our discussion.
Yeah, and that was a gift of Rebecca Pearson as well. So, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
Good on you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Both at the same time, Jeff.
See you guys.
Thanks.
Okay. Do we have to do the public forum? Accept the public.
Before you start, I might have been remiss. I'm not sure. Does everybody know Esther over the back there?
Yes.
Esther's now that Donna's moved into this seat, Esther's moved into that seat. So Esther is the new Donna. What Donna used to be. So she's the support person for Margaret and myself, and also Eileen and Whangamata. So she's coming along to meet you guys and see how you work, so you
Great.
need to be on your best behaviour, yeah?
Welcome.
As always, as always.
Sorry to interrupt
No,
you.
not at all. So do we have to move that the public forum?
Yeah.
Is accepted? Okay, I'll move that the public.
Oh, no, I updated it.
Oh, okay.
I'll second it.
Second, all those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you.
I thought we got rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Are there any items not on the agenda that we need to bring forward today? No? Okay. Any conflicts of interest on anything we're discussing today? No. Okay, so I'd like to make the confirmation. Okay, so we confirm that the minutes of the Coromandel-Colville Community Board meeting held on 10th of November 2020, we confirm those?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yep,
Can I have
I'll
it?
move that.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. Those aren't the
Sorry,
ones
No.
John County wasn't at the meeting.
Oh,
Well, that's
okay, I'll move it.
difficult then, isn't it? Oh, you got those?
Yeah.
So, but you can.
Yes, yeah, of course, that's right. False. Okay. Good. Okay.
Well spotted.
Been caught out before.
Right. Okay, discretionary fund, welcome to Coromandel sign and pedestrian giveaway signage.
Right, I'll just take it as the report being read.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And so you're all familiar with the welcome to the Coromandel sign issue, and it really is a retrospective sign off by you guys, because as you're aware, you wanted it to be done before Christmas,
We
so
did.
it has.
That's amazing.
So there's that one, and then the pedestrian
Yes.
giveaway signage.
Okay,
So this is the alternative. Mercury Bay are getting the same ones made. This is the alternative look to be a little more in keeping with the style of our town,
Oh,
Jan.
very pleased.
Because the original ones obviously were the triangle red and white. They're just,
Yeah.
yeah, so,
Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. As soon as I saw it, I
Yeah.
thought, oh, that's fantastic.
I knew you'd like
Great.
it, Jan.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's basically it. And that will go just up here on the threshold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is so good, because I've been working at Coromandel accommodation in the last, 2 or 3 months, and the people there, and people waving traffic down, saying,
I know, and then you also have cars thinking, are we supposed to stop?
Exactly.
You know, like the west, and then they
Yeah.
stop.
Yes.
Because, yeah.
they do, yeah.
So
Others
it's,
just carry on.
Must admit,
through.
I'm a stopper.
yeah. Well, this just
Yeah,
secures people as to who's supposed to be doing what.
Yep.
yeah. I mean, we always knew it was going to be an issue, but trying to get people saying it's not a pedestrian crossing. Yeah.
Which I think is interesting, because I was in Whakatane recently, and they have these little signs all over their town centre, but still the traffic give way to the people.
Yeah.
They just automatically stop and give way to
It
the
happens
people.
in Thames as well, I noticed,
Yeah.
with the pedestrian relief things. So,
Even the
yeah.
buses, like I literally stop to wait and the bus stops. Oh, okay, even though the signs say.
And we got a deal on these, didn't we, Alan? Piggybacking on the,
Yeah, we're getting a whole heap of them and fitting about
Yeah.
half a dozen of them, I think, at different crossing points. But it's the same thing. It's what we designed. It's what we designed for the Fitty Town Centre.
yep.
Good job. Good job.
Yep.
I couldn't quite
Okay.
stretch it far enough for them to pay for it as well.
So would you like me to move that resolution now then, Jan?
Yep, so the resolution is that the Coromandel, that the Community Board receives the discretionary fund request, welcome to Coromandel sign and pedestrian ways signage report dated 2nd February 2021, approves the amount of $675 towards the cost of the additional wording on the welcome to Coromandel sign from its discretionary budget, approves the amount of $1,800 towards the cost of pedestrian giveaway signage on Kapana Road from its discretionary budget. So,
Yep, moved.
And I'll second.
all those in favour? Thank you. So, Community Hub, £150 for Coromandel. to approve.
Now we should have Nicole presenting to this, because this is her report. She's sent her a request to join.
Oh, it's me. It's the mayor. I best answer it, I guess.
Yes.
Hello, Margaret speaking. We're just in a board meeting.
Where are you?
Do we actually, oh, recently?
Mhm.
If you can't get it, we can just carry on anyway.
Bruce is calling.
Who's calling?
Bruce Hinson.
Uh,
He's obviously trying to join.
Oh, I know what this is about.
what?
It's okay.
Oh, the mayor, you mean?
Yeah, I do know what this is about. I'll be in trouble with bubbles.
What do you do?
Uh-oh. That's worse than being in trouble with the mayor.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Does anybody want to make any, shall we wait for Nicole?
No, we can carry on.
Okay, does anybody want to make any comments about it? I just think it looks amazing.
No, it is. It's an asset for the town and it is good.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I like it's low level, you know, the
Yeah, it's not intruding, is it?
no, not
Quite
at all.
discreet.
Yeah,
And, yeah, for some of the facilities they've got there around that green area, it'd be
Yeah.
quite good.
so should I,
Did you have any questions?
Yeah.
I can deal with any questions on this anyway.
I don't have any questions.
No, I don't.
I think the concept looks good. So yes, I'm happy to move that we accept that, I suppose, as it's read.
So that's okay, as read as that the board receives the Community Hub 150 Coromandel proposed development plans. Recommends that council approve the plans of the proposed Community Hub at 150 Pound Street, Coromandel as attached.
Yep.
Okay, I'll second that. All those in favour?
Aye.
Did you have any input to this?
No, I certainly shouldn't.
Okay, no. No, I mean, I just.
I'll tell you to go away.
Probably say I left the room.
It's all in, the whole of their plans are in line with their original proposal. Anyway, this one came to us right at the beginning, nothing's changed. The only thing is, they're doing it in 2 stages now because of the funding, but that's
fine.
We're approving the whole thing here, so the whole thing can proceed when the funding becomes available.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Very exciting. People in town, I know when they saw it in the Chronicle, they were just, people were very excited.
Good.
Oh, we've got Nicole now.
Not too late.
Hello, Nicole.
She's on mute.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Am I too late for?
Yeah, they've just moved it, so your.
Oh gosh.
Did you want to add anything though, Nicole?
No, I was just here, just if you had any questions or so forth. So, you've gone through it very quickly and.
No one had
everybody's
any
happy.
questions.
Okay, awesome. That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we're very excited about it.
I bet you are. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Mm.
Nice to see you all.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you very much, Nicole.
That's all right. I'll leave you to it.
Thank you. Bye.
We don't know anything yet.
Yeah, I've just enter a thing, so hopefully.
Leg hold traps. John, can you just pass me what Jeff left behind the picture?
Rachel's not there.
It's a shame because she did a good job. Oh, yes, she's accepted.
Oh, no, that's accepting the meeting.
Oh.
It's yellow, which means she's away from her desk.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Did you want to talk about the report?
yeah, I did, having reading the report, and I see that council have already said that they won't be on any of council reserves, is that
Yes.
right?
Yeah, correct.
And so we can't, of course, force Doc to do anything, but I got that actually when reading the report that Doc were quite supportive of the leg traps.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's, I'm not quite sure. So the McGregor Bay wetland, so they're saying, I mean, they don't have trees down there, do they?
No.
So there's no traps, but there
No, they
wouldn't be
wouldn't
traps
sit.
going there anyway,
No.
so. Yeah.
They're using stoke traps, I understand, but they're the
Yes.
box
Yeah.
stoke traps, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so the bylaw regarding it,
Mhm. The bylaw is already an existing bylaw.
yes, yeah,
That this type of activity can fall under.
yes. So, but I felt like the bylaw wasn't really clear in places. What Jeff said, the dangerous items, the existing bylaw, dangerous items in public places.
Yeah.
So that's not in this bylaw, no, I didn't read that when I was reading it.
I don't think that's the specific wording.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be handy if we had Rachel, because honestly,
Yeah.
I can't speak to
Well,
the bylaw.
I can't help it, she's not at her desk.
No.
Well, no, I'm not familiar with the detail either, but obviously, yeah, bylaws people, I presume they talk about legal people as well, but there is enough teeth in the bylaw, if that's what they're saying, then we need to accept their advice, I guess.
Yes, yeah. But they weren't talking about it was, dangerous items in public places. So it refers to damage in public places. When Jeff was talking, I got that he was talking about a different bylaw, that the dangerous items in public places comes under, that it's not under this bylaw.
I think it is, and I'm fairly confident that Jeff was sent a copy of this full report and the bylaw.
He's been working very
Yeah.
closely.
He's actually met with Rachel.
Yes.
Him and Rain.
Okay,
And I know that he's been sent a copy of this full report and the bylaw.
okay.
So it might be just in the terminology he's
Yeah.
using is different from possibly
Okay,
what's in there.
okay.
But we will check with Rachel and
Yeah, it
make
would be
sure.
really good, because I wasn't quite sure that he was saying the bylaw does cover what he was talking about.
Oh, I thought he was very happy with it.
Yes, yeah.
He didn't seem to say that
So maybe
there was anything missing.
Maybe what I thought then was that he was talking about another bylaw that did have the dangerous items in public places into it.
No, it is this bylaw,
No,
this
It's
is the bylaw.
definitely this one, okay, because I didn't read it when I was reading it. I honestly didn't read it. Well, I did read it.
I know that,
Well, there is like section 6.1.3, that you must not use any material or thing, including vehicle, bicycle, scooter, blah, 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 recklessly or in a manner which may intimidate, be dangerous, be injurious to or cause a nuisance to any person. So to me, that's a leasehold track.
It's a gin trap.
Yeah, yes, okay.
Section 6.1.3.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, okay.
And that's the bit that's under public safety, nuisances and general behaviour.
Just while you think about it, Rachel did a very good job with this and working with Jeff and Rain. And I never realised just what a big job it was to get a new bylaw up and running. Like, it's massive, it's expensive, it's time-wise for staff, it's huge. And for them to have come up with this and it fits in there beautifully, and for our applicants to be satisfied with it, I think.
Yeah.
I would shake Rachel's hand right now.
Oh, I think Rachel went above and beyond. She met with them, she worked with them.
And she's developed a relationship which is ongoing, and they are prepared to work with Rachel. So I thought it was a pretty good win, actually.
Yeah.
1-1.
It was.
Fantastic. Amazing. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then should we then put forward or move?
Have we got Rachel now?
Hey, there she is.
Oh, yeah,
She's muted.
welcome, Rachel.
Hello.
We've just been having some discussion about the report, and well done, and thank you very much for the work that you've put into it. We had Jeff and Rain in this morning, and just supporting what you have, the report, and asking us to support it in council, through council. I did have a question, but I think it's been answered, because when Jeff was here, he was talking about an existing bylaw about dangerous items in public places, and saying, and it's a legal tool, and that it would be about uniformity across the whole district. I thought he was talking about an existing bylaw somewhere else that said something about dangerous items in public places, but it seems like that is already incorporated into this report.
Yes. The Activities in Public Places bylaw, adopted in 2017, applies across all council-owned and managed land.
Okay, so that's the one that he would have been referring to then.
Yes.
And he's talking about uniformity across the district, as so is this throughout the whole of the TCDC?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for?
No, you did a really good job here, Rachel, and you'd blushed if you'd come online a few minutes earlier, because we were singing your praises. Job well done.
Thank you. Now that this has happened, I'll hopefully get the website up in the next couple of days.
Good on you.
Great. Thank you very much, Rachel. Thank you. So I'll move that the board receives the leasehold tracts report, resolves to inform the public via the council website the requirements regarding leasehold tracts on council managed land, resolves that the community board's request to add a lead track bylaw to the strategic planning work programme has been approved. Seconded by Kim. All those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. Carried.
Try Bruce.
He was at a meeting when I tried that.
All right. Yeah, that's right. Carry on then. I'm sure I can do that.
So it's too early for morning tea. Shall we just move on?
Absolutely.
The work
I had
programme?
more time for the public forum, but we didn't have that many today.
No, okay, that's,
You never know what
No.
they say. Sometimes it could be 6 or 7 people, sometimes it's one.
yeah. Okay. So we'll just end, do you want to take us through this?
Yes, I just want to go through one item at a time. We can deal with any questions. It's Cooma Road intersection 1 is progressing on that, but obviously the budget for that is next year and next financial year anyway. I think there's still quite a bit of negotiation going on with the landowners, which is not being all that easy, from what I understand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, it is progressing, yeah.
Do we have a plan for that, Al? I think there was one.
There is one that's not in the public arena yet.
Yeah.
Mainly because of the sensitivity
Of the land purchase.
The landowners, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of debate going on about the area of land required. I think we're wanting a bit more than the landowners are wanting.
Yep.
Yeah, to give, yeah.
Okay.
Is there a designation over a certain amount of land though, or?
No, it's not, no.
Okay.
If the negotiations didn't reach a satisfactory conclusion, we'd have to go through the formal Public Works Act process, which, a bit like bylaws, is not an easy process to go through.
Yeah.
The wharf renewals lower down there, that's, I think we got that on twice, I mean, it's further over as well, on the Coromandel wharf. So there's work being done on that at the moment, never finished. It was being done in February, wasn't it? We closed the wharf for a few weeks, is it finished now?
There were 2 bits of work being done, yes, and as far as I know, both should be completed now.
Right.
I can't confirm that for sure, but it should have
That's
been.
the wharf down here.
Yeah.
I was down there on Friday, and half the timber had been done on the left-hand side.
Oh, okay.
There was still some more to be done by the looks of it, but they were replacing a whole lot.
No, they were only replacing certain parts of
There were
it.
still workers down there.
Yeah.
The Jacks Point boat ramp one, so I think I mentioned earlier when we called tenders for that work, they came in at basically twice the budget. So we've reviewed the scope of works there, and we now have a way of making that area completely safe for public use and doing it within the budget that we have allocated for it.
We comply with our resource consent on there too, by the way, you knew that, didn't you? Yes.
Yes.
So we're only doing it purely for safety
It's the same
reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andrew brought it up at the panels, the coastal panel meeting.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The Parks and Reserve renewals and the minor works over the page and the Heritage House improvements all sort of linked together really, because we actually ended up needing to use some of those budgets to complete the reserve improvement work, the barbecue and gazebo and everything. So those 3 sort of balanced each other out basically. So that project is completed. The public conveniences, Little Bay, that's all in hand, and that's being done by the end of June, I'm assured, by the project manager. And we decided at the last meeting not to proceed with the dry vault one, which was the bay up there, the name's gone out of my head. Oh, Totu, that's it, yes.
Can I just say, look, that's been off the agenda for a long time, and we've been talking about Torquay or Kirata toilet, a dry vault thing, for quite some time now.
We decided at the last meeting not to proceed with any of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they are in the LTP? No.
Yeah.
They might be on the nice to have list.
Yeah, on the night, that's what I mean, on the nice to have list, yeah.
Right.
Okay. So that money, the money that was put aside for that, what happens to that money?
I would need to check about the funding of that. I think most of that was coming out of TCDC. So we just don't pick it up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What if it is?
Half of it anyway.
Yeah. Then the next one's Hauraki House land purchase. I'm not up to speed with that, but obviously that's becoming even more painful.
It's become complicated.
Sound of it?
You're more up to speed with that, Margaret?
Well, who knows what speed it is.
It's taken a big step backwards, really.
Yes, it has. And I don't understand why it has to go back to the drawing board again, when really they've already had the sign off from the board as being access to their requirements, the board being the school board. But this is what I'm being told. So.
Although according to, don't want to mention any names here, but it was brought up at the arts thing the other night by,
Yes, it was.
that it was all going ahead and all under.
It was brought up by.
The person who just phoned you.
Okay. Well, I'm sure she's far more informed than I am.
Yeah, I
on the
think
matter.
that was what was portrayed to me as well.
Yeah.
Same meeting,
Okay.
event.
So I wasn't even there, but my husband was, and told him.
So who's responsible for that comment there? Then that would be
John Muston,
John.
property manager, who is dealing directly with the property manager in Wellington of the Ministry of
I think
Education.
he'd be all over it. Yeah.
That is my understanding, and I literally spoke to John about this, and that's where it's at.
I'd say that'd be where it's at.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure this will be quite excellent.
Slight information to the opposite.
The adult pursuits Centre 1, so we go back to meet with where property people are, to meet with the trust and with the lessee about that, because you recall the trust sort of put an MOU to us, but it didn't really achieve what we wanted to achieve. So there's some further negotiations to be had in relation to that. Any more detail on that I could tell you, but it would probably need to be publicly excluded. Yeah. So we can do that in the workshop later.
We'll do that later.
So the bike park, is your phone busy today?
There might be a little emergency, I better take it.
Okay. The bike park in Coromandel, so we're still waiting for that lease to be signed. So again, we are putting a bit of pressure on in relation to that because it's all there. So we really need that lease to be
It's been
signed.
very well used and it's just amazing.
Yeah, it is. So these things, I don't have any more detail on that. I don't know if you do, Jan.
No, I don't. Not well. We had a meeting, we had a Zoom meeting the other day. But no, there's nothing really to report at this stage. Aim on more the reports.
Yeah.
We had to do it on Zoom because of the COVID levels. So.
Right. The bypass investigation, that's all been commissioned and that work is due to be done by the end of April still.
Good.
Okay.
On our budget, Alan.
Sorry?
On our budget.
Yes, we're on budget.
Good on you.
So we've engaged WSP to do that work.
Yep.
And there was two quotes received for it. And they were by far the most preferred one. I think we'll be quite pleased with the work that they do. So we'll bring that probably to a workshop as soon as we have some drafts. So they are due to report midway through. It's a 6-week period, and they were actually only commissioned last week, but there's a 6-week period for them to complete the work, which takes it to the end of April. But they will be reporting throughout that. So if anything arises that we need community board input on, we might just give you all a buzz.
So depending on the result of that report, we should be able to let the landowners know at that stage.
Yes. Yeah.
What we intend to do.
Where we're at. Yep.
Take the pressure off us on that one.
Yes.
Do we have to go out to consultation again because we're looking at a different spot?
Oh, we will eventually, yes.
Yeah.
We're nowhere near that stage.
No.
Just at the feasibility stage at the moment.
Yes, okay.
Sugarloaf, I'm not up to speed with that. So whether you want to say anything on that, John? Or?
It's progressing quite well. We're just looking at where we're going to put our dredgings, and we should get an answer for that this week, actually. So, everything's on track. The last meeting we had with in Thames a few weeks ago, we were visited by people from the Provincial Growth Fund just to listen to us and to assure themselves that they were happy with our progress, and they were. So it's all good. Yep, no problems there.
So can I just ask a question about the tailing? Is it, no, what is it?
Dredgings, yes.
Yeah, okay. Tailings, sorry. I'm so used to that word coming out in Coromandel when you talk about dredging. So are they looking for is it a clean site dump?
It is actually, it's been tested and it can be classed as clean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it could go out, well, I don't know, I don't know how much they're dredging, so.
I think we've got to find a place for about 20,000 cube. I think we can use 7,000 of it as backfill.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's a bit of surplus there. So, yep. But we have thoughts on where it might go locally and just talking with a person. Sorry?
Tiki in the corner, build that up.
Tiki in the corner, yeah. Yep, there'll be places for it.
Yes.
I tell you, could do a lot with it if you.
Oh, well, if it's clean.
It's clean-ish. No, it's clean. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, surely you jest.
I do jest.
Coromandel Wharf has already done.
And this is the one we've already chatted about that.
I'll remove that from that then if we're going to report on the above one.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Work program report.
Would somebody like to move that the board receives the 2020 and 2021 Colville Community Board Work Programme?
I'll move that.
Thank you.
Second it.
All those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Right. Gosh, we're moving along. The action schedule report. Donna.
So this, the action schedule, you haven't actually had one since March of last year. So part of governance, we're trying to be consistent across all the boards. So we've reintroduced your action schedules. So this is just the last few actions from end of last year that have been popped on there and where they're at. So you'll get a small one of these each meeting.
Oh, that's great. So does open mean it's been?
Yeah, so then you've got here a note says where it's at, what's happening.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that's been done, so with the
So that may have been done, but when the report was done back in January.
Okay.
It wasn't, so
Okay.
it may be completed now, so your next one will show that it was completed, and then they'll just, once they've been reported back as completed, they'll drop off and,
Nice to see that Mr Morris has got a new roof for $10,000. Lucky you. Councillor Morrissey.
Councillor Morrissey. Councillor McLean.
Right, okay.
so it's really just for your information.
Yeah. So the Hodeckley House car park, I see that it was done after. But it's
So that's fully
actually,
completed now too, is it?
well, yes, but actually it's ongoing.
Right.
And we're not really responsible, are we? It's
We don't own the land,
No.
and that's what's been the stumbling block
Yes,
to do it.
yeah.
But we obviously did do a little bit of work over there and through some metal
Yes,
and
thank
potholes
you.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I guess we're just going to have to continue with that until we finally get the whole land
Okay.
issue sorted out, and then the board can work out from there whether they want to refurb the whole car park, basically.
So that one there will probably come off at the next
Yes.
meeting,
Yeah,
because.
because it can just become an RFS thing after that.
Yeah. Okay. Perhaps we could use the money that we've spent on it to do that, to defray expenses of actually purchasing the land. Just saying it would be quite a good idea because we put a lot into it.
Exactly.
Anyway, doubt it will come off the ball, but we'll try. Carry on. Yeah, that's,
So they were just added to the work program, which has now been done.
yeah.
I presume you've all noticed the terracotta tiles now at the pedestrian.
Yep, which is great. The person who was, who brought an RFS to is not 100% happy because would have liked white. No, would have liked yellow.
No.
But we had talked about that and the board had
We did.
specifically said terracotta if it was more in keeping.
And it looks really nice and people have commented on it and have said it's great, it's not yellow.
It stands out, but it doesn't jump in your face like the yellow.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
yeah, it's much more in keeping. Yeah,
Okay.
so very good. Okay, so it's been moved that the board receives the action schedule.
I'll second it.
All those in favour?
Aye.
Me, members' reports. Kim?
Not a lot happening, to be honest. One of the only things that I could report on is that Hauraki House Management Committee had a meeting last month and we did a walk around and did a list of maintenance that's required. Some of it quite important, some of it not so important, but just to make note of. And I think that report went to Bubbles.
It went to myself and forwarded to the property manager.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, because some of it is pretty important.
Yeah, no, I will follow up with them this week to see if they've prioritised and,
Cool.
and try and get a response back from him.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was our main thing, really. But I've done other bits and pieces, but nothing major tonight.
Thank you, John.
I've already spoken briefly about Rikitahi, so that's ongoing. Council, there's not been much happening there. I think we've only just had one meeting since Christmas, so yeah, not a lot to report back from that. No, it's been pretty quiet.
Yes. I actually haven't really got anything specific to report. Is that I've spent a fair bit of time in town and the feedback around the upgrade, the pedestrian crossings, the whole town, the whole layout has been really good. And from people from out of town especially have absolutely loved it. And what's been said is that the character of the town hasn't changed, it's been enhanced by it. So all those people who thought that it was going to be so it's just great. It's good news.
Yep, it's been pretty
It's
positive.
been quite a good summer.
About the new mural at Samuel James.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I actually walked up and
Fits in really nicely, doesn't
spoke to the artists while they were doing it.
Nice with that one.
Yeah, it does, eh?
Yeah, no, that was good.
Just really, really lovely. It sets the Samuel James Reserve off really, really nicely.
Did we commission that or was it done?
No, that was funded by the family of Reverend Philip Sellis as a
Okay,
memorial to him, but also as a gift to the town on his behalf.
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know it was happening until I walked in there and I saw it.
Yeah.
He
Spoke to
commissioned
them,
it.
it was great.
So he paid for all of
Yeah,
that.
but he also
Special
commissioned,
acknowledged
like he
it.
approved.
That's-
So drawing, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be acknowledged in
Should be
the Chronicle
acknowledged.
or
Yes.
something.
I understand there is a storybook. Oh,
Sorry?
It's going to be.
Aye, you're onto it. That's great because it is fantastic there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome.
There's the trees in the main street, a couple of them look like they were suffering from the dry, but Bubbles is taking care of watering them. And one
not personally, but
the one outside the chemist and the one further along the way were definitely showing signs of stress, and they're quite a feature in that main street.
They are, and it's a pity because it'd be good if the shop owners could.
Well, some of them used to actually take responsibility for the ones outside, and you can see which ones are the biggest, so you know.
yeah, so you know who's looking after what.
Did what, but no, the council came along and watered them to keep them going.
With non-potable water, just in case. We did have some inquiries because there obviously was a water ban on at the time, so, yeah.
Yes, so it was
I
done
see we're
right.
at level 3
Well,
now.
if there's ever an issue, they can come to my house and load up water out of my tap.
Thank you, Kim.
It's not a problem.
Okay, so that's reports. Now I'd like to move that we move into public.
Oh, can we have a
Oh, yes, of course. Move I'll move the members' reports be accepted.
And I'll second it.
In favour.
Okay. Now we'll go into, I'll move that we go into public excluded. Seconded.